In the final, desperate weeks of World War II, as the Third Reich crumbled into dust, thousands of soldiers, engineers, and forced laborers were driven day and night on one last monumental construction. This wasn't a fortress or a command center. It was a vault, a tomb buried so deep into the earth it required blast-proof chambers, reinforced steel doors, and entire mountains to be carved open. And when it was finally completed, with the enemy at the gates, the entrances were sealed. Not just locked, but permanently sealed with tons of rock and concrete. There was no explanation. No inventory list was ever found, and no official records exist of what was locked away inside. It was as if the entire project, and whatever it contained, was meant to be erased from time itself. For decades, the site was lost to history, a phantom whispered about in obscure forums and dusty archives. Then, when modern researchers finally identified this sprawling underground complex beneath an abandoned mine, they were stunned. The scale of the engineering was far beyond any typical wartime bunker. They found evidence of wide corridors built to accommodate heavy machinery, reinforced vaults within vaults, and sophisticated air filtration systems designed not for short-term survival, but for long-term, permanent protection. This wasn't a shelter to protect people. It was a storage facility, a high-tech prison designed for something so valuable or so dangerous that the Nazis refused to let it fall into enemy hands, even if it meant burying it forever. The construction itself was shrouded in absolute secrecy, a ghost project even within the paranoid structure of the Reich. Scattered documents recovered from different archives reference the operation only by a codename, never by its purpose or location. Records show massive allocations of steel, concrete, and advanced electronics, but the final accounting for these materials simply vanishes. Engineers were assigned to the project, but none were ever interviewed after the war. Their records were scrubbed or they disappeared. Entire battalions of laborers were transferred to the site, worked to death, and then erased from official registers. The vault wasn't just hidden from the world. Its very existence was hidden from the Reich itself. Only a tiny fanatic inner circle knew what was being built and why. So what were they so desperate to hide? The theories are as vast and dark as the complex itself. Some researchers argue it must be the legendary Nazi gold and priceless stolen art, a final treasure chest for a fallen empire. This is the simplest explanation, but others suggest something far more advanced. Prototypes of experimental weapons that were decades ahead of their time. Classified research into energy sources that could have changed the world. A few historians, speaking off the record, whisper of something else entirely. They speak of documents and ancient relics, things the Nazis uncovered during their occult expeditions across the globe, things that were never meant to be found. In this mystery, truth, myth, and terrifying possibility all intertwine. But one detail stands out above all else. Whatever was stored inside was sealed away in the last chaotic days of the war, a time when the Reich had nothing left to protect, except, perhaps, its darkest and most unforgivable secrets. What makes this story even more unsettling is that the secrecy didn't end in 1945. Multiple attempts to enter the vault in the decades since have been systematically stopped. Governments, both East and West, have mysteriously withdrawn funding for planned excavations at the last minute. Official permits have been inexplicably denied, citing vague geological instabilities. Maps of the region have been classified or restricted. Entire forests surrounding the site have been fenced off, patrolled by private security, and declared off-limits to the public. Researchers who have gotten too close report being under surveillance, having their equipment mysteriously fail, and facing sudden, insurmountable legal obstacles. The question isn't just what the Nazis hid. It's why modern powers are so determined to keep it hidden. Why actively block access to a bunker built 80 years ago? The plot thickens when you look at the blueprints. Official records from German archives show that the complete architectural plans for the underground complex existed after the war. But during the height of the Cold War, they were removed. Not misplaced or lost in a fire. They were systematically removed by an unknown agency. To this day, no one can explain where they went or who took them. Without those blueprints, engineering teams have no safe way to enter. Any attempt to drill into the structure could trigger a catastrophic collapse, flood the entire complex with groundwater, or worse, activate unknown defensive mechanisms that may have been built into the design. The vault remains a black box, impenetrable without the keys that were stolen from history. And then there are the eyewitness accounts. Fading memories from the war's final days paint a chilling picture. Old villagers from the area describe massive convoys moving toward the mountains under the cover of darkness. Trucks under the heaviest armed guard they had ever seen, carrying large sealed crates. Some witnesses claim they saw specialized trains loaded with unusual cargo that entered the mountain tunnels and never reappeared. By the time Allied forces finally secured the region, it was too late. The convoys were gone, the trains had vanished, and the vault was already sealed shut, its contents having disappeared from official history, as if they had never existed at all. This leads us to the most critical question. Why does it remain sealed today? If the vault only contains gold or stolen art, why not open it? International agreements are in place to return such items to their rightful owners. Recovering it would be a triumph for justice. The resistance to opening it suggests the contents are not something that can be simply returned or put in a museum. What if the contents pose a threat? Not a financial one, but a historical one. What if the vault contains research so advanced that releasing it would destabilize global technology? Or what if it hides documents that could rewrite history? Proof of secret negotiations, shocking alliances, or wartime operations that the world's governments still vehemently deny ever happened? Opening the vault might not just be a historical discovery. It could be an act of political demolition. So we are left with the final haunting question. What did a dying regime, in its final moments of collapse, choose to bury in a tomb built to last for eternity? Was it a treasure beyond imagination? A weapon of unimaginable power? Or was it a truth? A truth so dangerous, so world-altering that they sealed it away, believing that humanity was not, and never would be, ready to confront it. The vault remains sealed, perhaps because opening it would reveal far more than just the secrets of the past. It might reveal a terrifying truth about our present. If you're ready to uncover more forbidden archives and explore the stories that lie hidden in the shadows, subscribe to the True Story Files and join the investigation. Tell us in the comments what you believe is locked inside the lost Nazi vault.